We're down to the final 8, the Champions League quarterfinals. At this stage, there's no room for mistakes. But beyond the drama, the numbers are already telling a story. Arsenal leading the competition with 3.2 expected goals. Real Madrid close behind at 3.1. Liverpool and Bayern among the most aggressive attacking sides. And PSG building momentum with every match. 8 teams, 4 ties, and every detail matters. Let's break it down, from the quarterfinals all the way to the final. From the numbers to the battlefield, this is the road to Budapest. The Champions League quarterfinals, 8 teams, 4 ties. On the left side, Paris Saint-Germain face Liverpool. Real Madrid take on Bayern Munich. On the right, Barcelona go up against Atletico Madrid, and Arsenal meet Sporting. 2 legs, no second chances, and only 4 teams will survive to reach the semifinals. Before we go any further, this is how the numbers rank the final 8 teams. Arsenal lead the field, with the highest overall power score and elite balance between attack and defense. PSG follow closely behind, one of the most consistent teams in both possession and chance creation. Real Madrid sit third, slightly lower in structure, but still among the most dangerous in transition. Bayern Munich remain a top attacking force, but their defensive metrics show vulnerability. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid strong, but just a step below the top tier. And then Sporting and Liverpool, capable of surprises, but statistically behind the rest. The gap is small, but at this level, small differences decide everything. At this stage, systems matter, but moments belong to players. Bukayo Saka involved in everything Arsenal create. Kylian Mbappe, 13 goals already, and still unstoppable. Harry Kane, the most clinical finisher in the competition. And Lamine Yamal, unpredictable, fearless, and impossible to contain. These aren't just players. They are the difference between going home and reaching the final. Arsenal versus Sporting. The first leg in Lisbon starts with a surprise. Sporting strike first, Gyökeres scores in the 19th minute, but Arsenal respond immediately. Bukayo Saka cuts inside and equalizes with a high-quality chance. Then, in the second half, Ødegaard creates, Martinelli finishes. Arsenal take a 2-1 lead. But the real difference comes in London. At the Emirates, Arsenal completely take control. 2.4 expected goals against just 0.7 for Sporting. Ødegaard opens the scoring early. Saka adds a second. Havertz finishes it. 3-0. Aggregate 5-1 Arsenal. Because over 2 legs, control beats intensity. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. A clash of firepower. The first leg in Madrid completely balanced. Mbappe opens the scoring in the 28th minute, a high-quality chance in transition. Kane responds just before halftime. Vinicius strikes again, and Musiala brings it back to 2-2. XG almost identical, nothing separates them. But the second leg changes everything. In Munich, Real Madrid take control. Mbappe scores early. Kane answers. Then, the game opens. Mbappe strikes again on the counter, and Bellingham finishes it late, 3-1. Aggregate 5-3 Real Madrid, because in open games, Madrid don't survive, they punish. Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. Control versus resistance. In the first leg, Barcelona dominate possession. Yamal opens the scoring in the 22nd minute. Lewandowski adds a second. Atletico respond through Alvarez, but they never take control of the game. 2-1 Barcelona. Second leg in Madrid. Same pattern, different stadium. Atletico sit deep, compact, disciplined. But Barcelona keep the ball and keep pushing. Griezmann scores early, but then control takes over again. Pedri equalizes. And in the 88th minute, Yamal decides the tie, 2-1. Aggregate 4-2 Barcelona. Because eventually, possession becomes pressure, and pressure becomes goals. PSG versus Liverpool. High tempo, high pressure. First leg in Paris, PSG take control early. Dembélé opens the scoring in the 14th minute. Barcola adds a second. Hakimi makes it 3. Liverpool respond late through Salah, but defensively, they struggle. 3-1 PSG. Second leg at Anfield, a completely different game. Liverpool press higher, more aggressive, more direct. Salah scores early. Szoboszlai adds another, but PSG don't collapse. Vitinha controls the tempo. Barcola finds space late. 2-2. Aggregate 5-3 PSG. Because when the game becomes chaotic, PSG stay in control. The quarterfinals are complete. 4 teams remain: Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Arsenal. No more second chances. From here, every mistake ends the journey. 2 semifinals, 2 battles, and only 1 step to the final in Budapest. Paris Saint-Germain versus Real Madrid, 2 different philosophies. Control against chaos. First leg in Paris, perfect balance. Mbappé strikes early against his former club. Dembélé responds. Vinicius Jr. makes it 2-1, but Barcola brings PSG back 2-2. Nothing separates them. Second leg in Madrid, this is where the game changes. PSG take control of the midfield. Vitinha dictates the tempo. Hakimi drives forward. Dembélé scores. Then the game opens, and PSG exploit every space. Kolo Muani finishes the transition. Bellingham scores late, but it's not enough. 3-1. Aggregate 5-3 PSG, because over 2 legs, control beats chaos. Arsenal versus Barcelona, a battle of control and execution. First leg in London, Arsenal take the initiative. Saka opens the scoring in the 34th minute. Ødegaard controls the tempo. Lewandowski responds, but Barcelona never fully settle. 2-1 Arsenal. Second leg in Barcelona. This is where everything changes. Arteta makes the adjustment. A tactical shift. 5 at the back. Yamal isolated. Barcelona's biggest threat neutralized. And then Arsenal strike. Martinelli scores. Havertz finishes it 2-0. Aggregate 4-1 Arsenal. Because in the biggest moments, structure beats talent. This is it. The UEFA Champions League final. Arsenal versus Paris Saint-Germain. Months of competition reduced to one night, one stadium, one moment. Arsenal, the most complete team in the tournament. PSG, the masters of control and momentum. The numbers are close, the margins even closer. But history doesn't remember data, it remembers champions. And in the end, it comes down to moments. Saka opens the scoring. PSG respond through Barcola. But in the 93rd minute, Ødegaard, the captain, the moment, 2-1, Arsenal are champions of Europe. Not the highest possession, not the loudest team, but the most complete. Because in the end, the numbers were right. And now they lift it. For the first time, Arsenal are champions of Europe. And finally, the team of the season. A data-driven lineup based on impact, consistency, and performance. Mbappé and Kane leading the attack. Saka, one of the most decisive players this season. In midfield, Bellingham, Vitinha, and Ødegaard. Control, creativity, and balance. At the back, a mix of defensive strength and modern fullbacks. And in goal, David Raya. This is the best 11 of the Champions League season. But now it's your turn. Do you agree with this team? Comment your lineup, and don't forget to like and subscribe.